From the most skillful shots
Can he? Can he? Yeah!
to the most magical scores.
He is! And the double 15 is in! And there's the celebration, Luke Littler!
Here are 4 of Luke Littler's most insane 9-darter finishes in history, starting with when Luke Littler took everyone by surprise in a fierce game against Luke Humphries.
Yeah, you might ask the question, what do they do in that 2 or 3 minutes that they've got? Well, I think Luke Littler went on the practice board. Yes.
On May 23rd, 2024, in a Premier League final at the O2 Arena in London, Littler did what the best word that could be used to describe it would be unbelievable.
Some treble 20s apparently. Oh, they both were.
Making great shots in the dart game happens a couple of times, and to the fans, they are already used to seeing that. But what is impossible to tell at the moment is whether it was luck or pure skill.
They've changed the dart board, they've made the treble bigger.
Don't say that, people will believe you, man. You can't joke on TV. Oh, no!
Obviously, it was a piece of cake for Humphries to replicate Littler's result, but this was where everyone started to wonder if it was truly luck or something else for Littler.
This is amazing. Come on! They were both on 9.
Even though Littler was a teenager, he was playing on a different level. Now, the question on everyone's mind was, will Humphries be able to match this level of exceptionalism? And what happened next was totally unexpected.
Can he? Can he? Yes, you beauty! Luke Littler!
Although Humphries woefully fell short of everyone's expectations, Littler decided to lay the naysayers permanently to rest by the next magical shot he took, making it look like a child's play.
Pro Tour, he's even on the European Tour, and he's looking at his watch to say about time. In the semi-finals, he was 7 darts in.
Littler got himself a clean 9-darter, leaving Humphries in a very hard place. However, amid the loud celebrations, what Humphries displayed was the true spirit of sportsmanship, as some other players would have taken it personally.
Yeah, offered very little as a guide, but Littler found the tops and going on the hand for the first hole to throw it.
Although his name is Littler, that does not in any way define what he does in the game of darts. This guy knows how to do astonishing things over and over again, as you need to see the shock on Michael Gerwin's face when he served him his share of the experience. On March 21st, 2025 in Cardiff, on night 7 of the BetMGM Premier League, Luke Littler, in a competition against Michael van Gerwen, made history for himself in a grand style, leaving Michael speechless and the whole crowd roaring his name.
This match, it's leg 4, the start of leg 4, and that's our 6th match, 5 for Littler.
The truth is, no one expected much from the teenager in this particular game, considering the fact that he was up against the legend Michael van Gerwen, and Michael himself didn't spare a reason for doubt. As to him, it was real business.
There's been a different standard in terms of 180s in this Premier League.
What Michael did here took the game to another level, making the stakes high for Littler. No one could have expected less because the guy was a pro, but nobody saw this coming.
What are we witnessing here? Luke Littler, I mentioned in Brighton, was a bit, well, had his nose put out of joint with a...
With the kind of stunt Littler pulled here, everyone's faith in him increased by multiple folds, setting the whole arena on fire. And for Michael, things didn't seem to be working out as planned, and there wasn't much to say considering how he was playing at the moment.
But the 9 darts were going on and it wasn't him involved. Is he getting involved here?
He certainly is trying to be. He is! And the double 15 is in!
The writings on the wall were beginning to speak louder against Michael, especially with what he had just played, but Littler wasn't yet done with making his statement.
Well, he loves that double 15 as much as a double 10 it seems, and he's used it to great success here. Look, the nuke!
And just like a joke, Littler did great again, leaving everyone in awe of his doings. And even though it was obviously over, the look on Michael's face was priceless.
We've seen what he can do at the World Championship. This is just a different level he has to achieve.
Yeah, it is. But I think he might be up to it, Wemmy.
2024, in the Bahrain Darts Masters, in a dart battle between Luke Littler and Nathan Aspinall, Littler set the record straight.
I'll make it right.
This could be really, really good. Nathan Asper.
Just like every game, it is difficult to predict the outcome. Even though Littler had a good start, the story wasn't totally the same for Nathan.
Look, they're the same management team. I think Nathan did play Luke back when he was 11 or 12. And even then, Nathan said I was in a real tough game.
Obviously, Nathan wasn't having a good time at all, and the fact that he didn't meet his fans' expectations didn't in any way affect Littler. The guy was literally on fire.
Back-to-back 180s to start the match. They're supposed to be friends and he's tearing into him.
With what Nathan played, just needing one more shot to make his point, it was clear he had woken up from his slumber and had every intention to up his game, but it was obvious that maybe luck wasn't on his side.
What a start this would be. Oh, it's on. It's on, and the first leg of the match.
Nathan, who could smell his defeat a million miles away, chose not to take it personally, knowing that in the game of darts, you win some and you lose some.
On his World Series debut, he got through the game yesterday. He's hit a perfect leg only the second time we've seen on.
Even though Littler won seamlessly, it wasn't the best of his wins, as he took Rob Cross to the cleaners with a 9-darter. On March 14, 2024, the teenager, Luke Littler, stood up to the occasion once more against Rob Cross in the Blackleder Belgian Darts Open.
Could so easily have been 6-4. Littler still hanging in there and finds parity once again, and just look where it might take him, Paul.
Just like his previous games, he made sure he started off like a pro, and Rob, who seemed to be trembling already, barely made his hit.
Like an ABBA song, slipping through his fingers. That could have been 3 straight legs for Rob Cross for a second time in this final.
Rob's performance seemed like a stepping stone for Littler, who wasn't ready to slack at all, as what he did next was on another level.
The fact that he's been stopped now means we've got one set of darts to see who wins this tournament. And it's on!
At this point, Rob had 1 out of 2 options, either to get motivated and change the game to his advantage, or to get intimidated and demoralized by the results of Littler, and what he did next said it all.
Treble 19 out the way. If he gets the first 60, double 12 might just be on for a 9 in the final.
Well, he has threatened this 6 perfect darts, 7 perfect darts this week.
What Littler did here is called taking full advantage of an easy opportunity, and he didn't disappoint at all.
The moment in the final itself. It may well be the moment for Luke Littler. The 9-dart perfection in the final on his European Tour debut. And once again, Luke Littler delivers with style. Unbelievable scenes in Visa. The crowd rises one. Rob Cross acknowledges it with an embrace as well.